got an epic video in store for you guys today. Myself and Mike Kilgore are going to tag team this driveway. We are going to do it the Trident way. We are testing out this material and see what this material is all about. I've heard great things. We're going to witness it firsthand today in this video. You guys don't go anywhere. We've got something epic. This morning we made a quick stop at Suncoast Sprayer and Equipment in Port St. Lucie, Florida. They are a supplier close and local to me. I can get all my material and anything I need to work on my equipment there. We made a quick stop, grabbed a few things. Now we are headed to the beautiful city of Fort Pierce. We've got clear skies all this week, no weather interruptions, so it's going to be a beautiful day to seal some pavers. What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a great video in store for you. We are on location. This is our project for the next 2 days. So we have a weed infested driveway. Mike said there is a few pavers on this weedscape. We're gonna get it cleaned up. We're doing the Trident 1, 2, 3 process. And as we are rolling, Mike is going to break down what exactly the 1, 2, 3 process is, so you guys will be able to see that. We are going to hands down apply Trident cat.5 material on this with Mike's assistance, so there will be no confusion of user error. We've got the man himself here. He's gonna take it away and explain the first step of the 1, 2, 3.
Hello everybody, this is Mike Kilgore coming to you today. Boy, I tell you, it's been a lot of fun just getting down here, but what beautiful weather that we've got, and I really appreciate Rusty taking some time to put us all together. But one thing that Rusty didn't have on is he didn't have one of these really cool Trident hats. So we need to make sure that we give that to him, and you know, there we go. Now look at him. Boy, I tell you what, I don't even know if I got you in frame or not, but there we go.
Look good?
Looking good.
Awesome.
Looking good. So we want to tell you about the 1, 2, 3 cleaning process that we're going to start. As you all saw, there was a ton of weeds that are on this deck, and that was a really big problem. So Rusty came out earlier this weekend and actually treated those weeds and got them to a point. Now, we don't want to just get them to where they're wilted. We want to get them to where they're dead. So he came out about 3 or 4 days ago, and what we're really looking for is that brown, dead look of those weeds. Then we're going to start in with the 1, 2, 3 cleaning process. But first, we're going to take a turbo tip, a rotating nozzle, dig really, really deep inside of those joints to get as much of this weeds and dirt and grime out from in between those pavers. By doing so, we can then come back with our first step, which is going to be white water. That's treating for the efflorescence inside of the pavers. Now, you don't always see efflorescence, but we like to treat for the efflorescence. There's 2 times that you treat for efflorescence: when they're brand new pavers, or if they're over 2 years old and you're seeing efflorescence. And we're actually seeing some up in the top right hand corner of this area. So we want to go ahead and treat for it. So we're going to use our product called white water, and that white water is diluted down because it's a light efflorescence, 1 to 1, then downstream. And then we're going to surface clean and rinse out, and then get ready for the second and the third step. So we're going to document as much as we possibly can for this. I'm really grateful for Rusty allowing me to be able to come and be a part of this, and really looking forward to seeing the outcome. We're also going to be using cat.5, which is a 2-part urethane system that makes 20 gallons of sealer at the D2 ratio. That's a 2 to 1 mix ratio. Then we're going to put down the platinum sand, which is an ASTM C144 grade sand. So it's made, and it's also indicated by the ICPI Institute as the proper type of sand to go into the joints. So we are doing a 2-day process on this. So we're going to clean it, we're going to sand it, and then come back tomorrow so that we can seal it. So as you can see right now, what Rusty is doing is he's turbo tipping out these joints because these weeds have really grown up considerably inside of these pavers. And the idea is to not turbo tip at an angle, kind of a 45 degree, but you want to get on top of them and make sure that you're pointing that turbo nozzle straight down to dig out those joints. The idea is to make sure that we're cleaning them out to 3/4 of an inch of depth. to give it enough opportunity for us to put enough sand inside of the joint. So as you can see, he's really spending a lot of time digging down into it. One of the reasons why we do the turbo tip first is because it's an indicator. Now, this driveway has a lot of weeds, but every once in a while you'll have some weeds that are there, and if you go over it with a surface cleaner at the beginning, you're going to knock off that indicator of taking some of the vegetation off. That's why we want to turbo tip first to clean out those joints, and it also helps get rid of some of the dirt and grime that's on top of the pavers for whenever we apply the chemicals in the 1, 2, 3 cleaning process.
Woo! We are digging away at these pavers. I have not done a job with so many weeds in a long time. Let me show you where we're at. Up by Mike is how far we've got, so it's gonna be a little time consuming, but we're chipping away. It's going smooth. Mike came over and said, hand me the turbo nozzle. So hey, I'm not gonna deny that. Stay tuned in this video, you guys. You're going to learn so much about paver sealing, about the cleaning process. I'm learning so much myself, and I just want to pass this info through the lens to you guys. And that's what I told Mike. He originally was kind of skeptical with him being in the video because he didn't want you guys to think that my initial review on this product was influenced by him, and I told him, you know, my viewers know I'm very straightforward. That's not going to be a concern. I'm going to give this product a review if I bought the bucket myself, but with him helping me with the cleaning process, it's just going to make it that much better because now you guys know that I'm applying it exactly how Mike would apply it, so it works out perfect. Stay tuned though, you guys, because there is so much more knowledge coming, and there is going to be one beautiful transformation on this brick paver driveway.
So, you know, one of the big things about the difference between us is that we're not afraid to get into the trenches with you guys. You know, sometimes, you know, just having and sending a solution, there's going to be times where you just got to get a little bit dirty. And that's what we're going to do with you guys. So, I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of enjoying this. I don't want to do it all day and do the grinding like you guys do. But I'll tell you, you know, just peeling this onion down just a little bit is a lot of fun.
Alrighty, step one of the 3-step process for the Trident way. We are going to downstream some white water. We are at a 1-to-1 dilution rate. We're just downstreaming it straight out of a 5-gallon bucket. And Mike is going to explain to you what exactly this product is going to do for us.
Now is step one is we're going to use the white water. We're going to apply it, let it dwell for a couple of minutes or so. We're going to surface clean and then rinse out so that we're getting ready for stage number 2. So now we're putting down the point break, and the point break is diluted 1-to-1, then downstreamed. Same thing as the white water, but it's 1-to-1, then downstreamed. So you're going to get roughly around 1,000 square feet of mixed solution. So we made up about 2 gallons, so we're going to have some left over. You need to agitate it. Now, you can take a broom and agitate it to get things to lift. That's going to take forever, but you're going to see a difference. We're going to use the surface cleaner, but we're moving very, very quickly. All right, now we're on the final stage of the 3-step process, the 1, 2, 3 cleaning process, and this one we're using Wipeout. Now, Wipeout is a deep penetrating. It's also got clean rinse technology, but it also neutralizes everything else. Now, we want to make sure that even if you're not doing the 1, 2, 3 cleaning process, say for instance you want to use SH, that's great. But if anything, make sure that you're using Wipeout at the end. That's going to neutralize everything and make sure that the pavers themselves are ready to absorb and hold on to as much of the sealer as possible. So what we're doing right now is applying that, and then we're going to do a quick surface clean, and that's when we actually really do a fantastic job of flowing everything out, rinsing everything off, and then we're going to get ready for the sanding, where we're going to be putting in platinum sand, the ASTM C144 grade sand, and we'll be talking about the sand here in just a little bit. Now that we've finished the 1, 2, 3 cleaning process and we've used the wipeout and we did a final rinse, now it's time for us to start getting involved with the wet sanding process. Now Trident provides 6 different colors of sand. We've got gray, tan, black, fieldstone, pearl, and platinum. This customer specifically picked the platinum. Now we do have sand samplers that we show the customers themselves so that they can take a look at it and decide what's right for them, but platinum is the right choice for this job here. So it's going to take us roughly about 6 bags for us to get through this process and make sure that we have enough sand for everything. You want to estimate typically around 3 bags per 1,000 square feet. Now this is 1,500 square feet, but there are also a bunch of areas that have really big gaps inside of it, so we knew that it was going to take a little bit more sand. We actually ended up using 5.5 bags, so it was a good estimation of how much sand to use. When we're doing wet sanding, we're using a process called hydrocompaction. That's when we're taking the water and running across the sand and allowing it to settle the sand into the joints. Now let's talk about the sand. The sand itself is what's called ASTM C144 grade sand. This is the proper sand that's recommended by the ICPI Institute to ensure that you get optimal joint stabilization. So just because you're using a different kind of sand, and anyway from silica sand, the proper sand gradation is ASTM C144 grade. So in this video, you're seeing that we are moving this sand from one side to the next, making sure that we keep the water and the sand out in front of us so that the water travels over the top, drops the sand into the joints itself, and settles deep into those joints and fills up. The sand is supposed to be 1/8 of an inch below the chamfer line. Now that doesn't mean you should go around and measure everything, but it's supposed to be below the chamfer line. There's the bevel and another line on the side of the pavers that's there, and the sand is supposed to be below that line 1/8 of an inch. So while we're doing this and moving, you're seeing that we're using a 2-person technique. That 2-person technique allows us to move a little bit quicker and also move the sand back and forth. You want to create a slurry with the sand so that it's easy to move and it falls down into the joints itself. A key point is that if you have an 8-gallon-a-minute machine or a 10-gallon-a-minute machine like Rusty has here, you want to potentially cut down. I like to cut down the machine to maybe half until you start to get more comfortable with moving sand around. As you become more comfortable, you can go a little bit quicker. It does take a learning curve, so it's not something that you're just going to pick up all on your own just instantly. But if you do have a big pile and you're by yourself, you can do 2 methods. One is a push method where you grab the pile that's in front of you, push it out, and then work backwards until you get to the pile where you're at and then clean it up. Or you can put a broom in one hand and just move the big piles. Again, the slurry is the key. The wetter that the sand is, the more of a slurry, the easier it is to move around. So you start from the top all the way down to the bottom, get it all into the areas you want, and then at the end, I like using an M5 twist, and I put it on a wide fan and do a final rinse from the top all the way down to the bottom. Now tomorrow, whenever we come back, we will look for any high spots or low spots. We'll knock those edges down, and after knocking those edges down, then we're going to be prepared to be able to make the sealer to put onto this property.
Alrighty, you guys, this is the end of day 1. Just like that, it will be day 2 thanks to editing, but we're going to go over what was complete today. As you can see, no more weeds, completely gone. It took us a good amount of time to dig this scape out. It was, like I said earlier, the most intense amount of turbo nozzling I've done in a very long time. We put in the sweat equity today. But Mike's gonna take it away from here, go over a recap and explain what is left in this procedure.
Well, here we are, end of day one, as Rusty just told you, and I tell you, it has been, I have not worked this hard in a very long time. There's no doubt about that, but you know, the homeowner has come out and taken a look at this project, and he said, I tell you what, this project has not looked better than it ever has, even before we moved in. And we haven't even put the sealer down yet. I am excited about when we put the sealer down, because we can always tell what the pavers are going to look like after the water into it. So we are going to be using a D1 solution of the Hurricane Cat.5 on this project to make sure that we get the optimal joint stabilization. We just kind of took you through the step-by-step process, which was the turbo tipping, the 1, 2, 3 process, which is the whitewater, the point break, and the wipeout. Then we came back and did wet sanding. Our next stage is tomorrow when we come back, give this a chance for as much moisture to come out from those joints as possible. We're going to come back, knock down any of the high areas. Once those are knocked down, we're going to look for some areas that may need a little bit more sand, fill those in, blow it off, get it all ready, start mixing up some sealer, and start spraying it down. So we're really excited about tomorrow morning coming out, finishing up this project, and making these pavers the best these pavers can be.
We will catch you guys in the morning. We're getting hibachi. We're gonna eat some food.
Yes.
We're gonna get these bellies full, get some rest, and be back at it. We will see you tomorrow. Welcome back, you guys. It is day 2. We are dropping off materials in my trailer at a different location. My partner Mark is prepping some jobs we have coming up. I am headed back to Fort Pierce. We are going to get this transformation rolling. I am meeting up with Mike as we speak. We are going to put some TRIDENT Cat.5 on this driveway, and you guys will finally get to see the final results. Don't go anywhere. Alrighty, you guys, like I said, we would be back, and here we are. We are doing some final prep work. Some of these joints are a little low, and that's natural. That is why you want to go over this before you seal it after the wet sanding process. So we're just checking the scape, making sure that we don't have any low points in the sand, and then any high points in the sand will be brushed and blowed off. That way we can get everything as even as possible. But I'm gonna flip the camera around and just show you guys what exactly I'm talking about with these uneven spots. So here you can see, guys, after we wet sanded, some of that sand with the water just dropped in, filled in some spots underneath. So we're just adding it to the top like this. We're not trying to get it perfect. We're going to perfect it before we seal. We're just fixing up all these really deep joints, getting them, like I said, nice and even as possible. We just filled up all these spots. It's good to go. It needs a final blow. We're going to get it perfected before we lay the sealant down. But a quick tip for you guys, like I mentioned in previous videos, I'm gonna say it again. In these clips you're about to see, these joint lines with the larger gaps, fill those to perfection, even them out to perfection. The customer's eye is going to draw to these thick parts, especially by the entryway, by the garage doors. They're gonna see that stuff daily. So when they see a nice, perfect level joint line, they're gonna have trust that the driveway is perfected the same, which it is, but it's just an indicator to show them that you have got this scape sanded the absolute best you could. As I'm blowing these pavers off, you guys, doing this final touch-up, I just want you to notice, you can see the tip of my blower is at an angle. You don't want it pointing straight down into the pavers. If you snooze for 1 second, you will blow out an excess amount of sand that you do not want to. Keep it at an angle and always kind of keep it rotating and moving. Never hold it still, and you will produce a nice even result with these techniques.
All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through the mixing dilutions, and this seems to be the most complicated part, which people think, but it's actually not that difficult. So I'm gonna try to make this really simple for you so that it's easy to understand. So what we have here is, when you get a kit of Cat.5, you're gonna get 5 gallons of part A, and you're gonna get 2 gallons of part B. By having those 2 gallons, it's going to make a complete of concentrated mix of around 7 gallons per kit that's there. That can make up to 20 gallons of sealer. So that's going to be the D2 ratio. So you're hearing these D2 and these D1s. Basically, it's almost a 2-to-1 mix ratio or a 1-to-1 mix ratio. So what I'm going to show you is how we mix these up. Now I'm going to give you an option. We're going to be doing a D1 as we mentioned on here because we had so many weeds. We want to make sure, then the customer wanted to make sure that we give them the ultimate in joint stabilization. When you get this, you're going to get 5 gallons of Part A. What you're also going to see is on the back of the Part A is a measuring line that's right here that helps you measure. And then it has the D2 and the D1, and we'll discuss that here in just a short bit, right? When you get the Part B, you're going to get the box, and then you're going to get these 2 gallons of Part B. On the back of the Part B, you're going to have the dilution ratio. So it's a really handy guide based on D1 and D2 so that you can determine how much sealer that you need to make. So you can refer to this on the back of the Part B. I'm going to take both of these out. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put this in. So if we're going to make 20 gallons that's here and all at one time, I'm going to take half of Part A, put it inside of here. Then I'm going to take one of these buckets and put it in here. One of these cans, sorry, and put it inside here. Mix it for 1 minute, right? Mix it for 1 minute and then equally distribute it across all 4 of them so that it's all directly across. When you distribute it across all 4 of them, it should come to on the side here to the D2 line, all the way across all 4 of them. If you're looking to make a D1 mix ratio, it's only going to make 15 gallons. So then you're going to do the exact same thing. Split this into here, put one into here, the other one into here, mix it, and then it will equally distribute across all 3 of them, and it will come to the D1 line across all 3 of them. Now you do not have to mix all of it at one time. For instance, if you're looking to make just 1 5-gallon pail, 1/4 of A is 1.25 gallons. There's 5 gallons inside here. So you put 1.25 gallons in here. 1/4 of 2 gallons is a half gallon of the Part B. The half gallon is actually right here at this black line. If you're wanting to make a smaller amount, but you want to make a D1 of this, you're still going to put in 1.25 gallons of Part A, a half a gallon of Part B, put it in, and whatever that line is, you're just going to double it, making it a 1-to-1 mix ratio, and that is a D1. Today, we're going to be making 15 gallons because we're doing D1. So, first thing we can do here is there's a couple of ways of opening up this can, right? You can open it from the top, or you can grab yourself one of those pineapple openers and go on the bottom and just go snap, snap, and pour it out on the bottom. But anyway, on this side here, you're gonna have these travel tabs that are right here. You can go inside of it, take off the travel tabs. Real simple. I like using a 5-in-1 tool. 5-in-1 tool is probably one of the best tools that you can have. So in the Part B, the way to be able to open up this Part B, I typically use the flat edge of a 5-in-1 tool. You can also use a screwdriver. What a lot of people will do is they'll try to pry these up this direction. When you get paint from a paint store, they're going to actually open it when they put the tint inside of it to make the color that you're looking for. So it's already broken that seal. So instead of opening it this way, the idea is that you get underneath it and you want to open it this direction so that it easily opens up. So by putting it into it right there, I can just go down with it very easily, come right around and open up this lid. All right. But what I want you to do is to come and take a little bit of a closer look at this. So what we're showing you here is how ultra pure that this is. It's about like, looks like glacier water, straight down all the way to the bottom, no impurities, no different colors into it. That's high grade urethane. That's high test H2O right there. That's the best Bobby Boucher that I could give you. You've got some fantastic urethane that's right here. So then you're gonna take this and put this off to the side. So what we're gonna do is we're going to make 15 gallons of D1. So I'm going to take this, pull it up, open it here. There's a little spout that's inside here. Pull the spout lid off. Now, whenever you're pouring, a A lot of people will want to pour their sealer like this. All right, and you'll see what happens. Bloop, 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 bloop. It's all over the place. Little pro tip, turn your bucket around, hold it this direction, and pour it off the top. See how much easier that is? A couple of things to notice also about this bucket is on top of every single pail of it is a lot number. I suggest, and this is something that we're going to ask for if you ever have any problems with sealers, is write the lot number down and take note of it for every single job that you do. So you write down the lot number for the job that you're doing so that in the future, 6 months down the road, if something comes up and you're concerned that maybe the sealer wasn't right or something wasn't we can look up that lot number and do a quality check on that. To open this pail, I've already poured half of it out here. All I'm going to do is pull on this little tab right here. It will unzip all the way around. Put that over here, and then you can actually open up the pail itself, and I'm going to use this pail as one of the pails that we're going to use for the job. So I have 2.5 gallons in this pail. I've got 2.5 gallons in this pail. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the Part B. Now when we're mixing, we're not trying to make butter, right? We're trying to give it a good mix, and what you're going to notice is how it doesn't foam up because of the advanced defoamers that are inside of this. Can you see the Hurricane? That's the Hurricane Cat 5 right there. There are things that are in Part A that are looking for things in Part B. It's important that you do this in this direction, that you do A and B and mix it together so that it chemically works together before you add the water. Don't add water and all three of them together and mix it together, because it has to go through a chemical reaction between the A and the B before you add the water into it. So what we're going to do is reiterate now. Now we have the 7 gallons of mix that's here. So if I'm going to make a D2 mix ratio, I'm going to equally distribute that all the way across all 4 buckets. Because today we're doing a D1 mixture, I'm going to take away one of these buckets. I'm going to equally distribute these all the way across all 3. And what I'm looking for is on the side here, you're going to see, where's it at? It's over here. The D1 mix ratio right there. So what I can do is I can go to the D1 on this one right here, right there, and then equally distribute these to where they're D1 all the way across. Right there. I'm a little bit at a tilt. And then the final is to come back in and mix for 1 minute. And again, you can see here that it doesn't foam up because of the advanced defoamers that are inside of a sealer. There's multiple things that are important in a sealer. Everybody wants to concentrate on the solids, how many solids there is. But the cross-linking action is very important, the chemical composite of it, the levelers that are inside of it, and everyone will tell you that the levelers, and we're going to walk all over this sealer while we're putting it down to the levelers, the defoamers that are very important inside of it to keep it from foaming up so it doesn't create a weak structure, the solids that are inside of it, the active ingredients that are inside of it. But the most important part of a sealer is the UV protection, because that UV protection is what gives longevity and durability. The UV is something that destroys pavers even without anything on it. You can put brand new pavers down. Once you have those brand new pavers that are put down, a couple of months later, the outside area is faded compared to the covered area. Don't think that that's not going to have an effect on your sealer. We have the most advanced UV protection. I actually talk a little bit more about that in some other videos that are there, but the UV protection is the most important part to a sealer and how all of those balance. But as you can see, there's absolutely no foaming that's happening.
right, you guys, so that is a wrap. Like I said, I showed you the final product. I popped up those before and after pictures. Everything is said and done at this job. It was a pleasure working with Mike. I myself gained so much knowledge, I can barely pack it in within the day and a half I spent with him. Mike, I want to thank you, man.
Appreciate it.
I know this is part of your job. I know Trident, you guys really extend yourself for the contractors, which is awesome, but I still want to thank you for coming out down this way. You know, you came from Tampa. It's been a pleasure.
Well, I appreciate it. No, I always enjoy doing these kinds of things. The bigger the challenge, the better it is. Just going out and just sealing, 500 square feet or 1,000 square feet, that's easy peasy. We can do that all day long. But this definitely had its challenges along its way. And problem solving is what we really pride ourselves on. Absolutely. Is to problem solve and find those things that other people want to run away from and try to just jump into it head first. So we've got such a fantastic support team with Danielle, with Lonnie, with Martin, with Brad, the whole Trident team. We've got Lynn, we've got Jay, we've got everybody that's all invited and being part of this team to be there to help anyone that we can. So we're just doing what we do. We're not doing anything above and beyond. We're just doing what we do.
I would disagree. I would say it's a little above and beyond, but it is not a bad thing at all. You guys, in this video, I know we uncovered so much, but in reality, we barely scratched the surface of what is truly going on behind the scenes of what you can really do with all of Trident's products. I'm going to put the link in the description, so all you have to do is go down there in the description, click the link. It is going to bring you straight to a free training course that dives deep into this process. You will not even need to think twice about doing your first job. You will be well equipped. And like I said before in my videos, you guys, I do not recommend these YouTube guru videos of trying to teach you everything. And I said it over a year ago that the best information out there is probably free because it's from some serious people in this industry that truly want to help you grow. And what do you know, Trident? They are giving you this insane course for free. So check it out.
All of our trainings are free, and the path to Master Certified is that you do the online class, then you attend one of the live classes. After you get done doing one of the live classes, we want you to go out and get some experience doing some of these Trident, or using the products. Go do 4 or 5 jobs. Upload those into the education area that's there on the online, and then you can also have us come out and do what's called a Trident tune-up, which is basically you've done 5 jobs, we're coming out to give you some extra tips and tricks to make you better, more efficient. And after that's all done with, then you can be invited to the advanced training. The next advanced training is in August, which is August 3rd and 4th in Tampa, but it's invite only, and it's for the people that have done the 5 jobs. And then after that, you become a Master Certified Contractor, and with that comes all kinds of benefits, and then you're going to be on your way to being able to compost anything that you need to with paver sealing, or concrete sealing too. We've got concrete, we've got paver sealing, anything that's hardscape, we can help you seal it.
Cool, man. The one thing I wanted you to point out to them about reaching that Master Certified position and badge was the credibility aspect that you said, for customers that are kind of questioning your credibility in this industry, right. How they can reach out to you guys and say, yeah, he's been through the ropes, he's totally mastered this. You are in great hands with this contractor. We support all of the contractors, no matter who they are, whether or not they're first starting, whether or not they've just picked up their first pail of sealer, all the way through to the Master Certified. But the one thing that we do, we drop everything for a Master Certified. Whenever they need something, it is all hands on deck whenever they need something there. We still support everybody pretty much equally, but there's another level that is for the Master Certified. Now, with that said, is that the Master Certified contractors are going to be able, even if other people are using Trident in the local area,
I have customers that call into Danielle, call into our office all the time and just verify, hey, you know, is he a master certified contractor and what does that mean? We actually have a sheet in the website that explains what it is to be a master certified contractor, and that's going to give you a competitive edge over these other contractors that may even be using the same product, but to say, I'm a master certified contractor, and if you're someone that's not master certified, then you want to get there as best as you possibly can so that you can level the playing field.
Well, hey man, I know you're off to
I'm going to another one. Actually, I'm going to Naples.
Naples.
Going to Naples next. So I got another contractor I'm working with. We're doing a big couple of tent jobs down there. He's never tinted pavers before, but these pavers are a disaster. So it just seems to be the story of my life,
Yeah,
right?
sounds like a lot of fun.
So we're going to, there's about 250 homes inside of that area, and he's gotten some really good foothold, but wants to definitely increase his ability to be able to close more deals.
Cool.
So we're going to work tomorrow, and then I'm going to drive home on Thursday and start all up again on Friday and recycle and do it again.
Absolutely. And for me, you guys, I am heading to the one that you saw in this video. I dropped Mark off. I'm headed back. I'm not filming anything. That is going to wrap it up on this video. As always, you guys, much love. I will see you in the next one. And hey, if you enjoyed this content, come check out my page. Subscribe, join the family. I've got so much great content on here already. I've got so much more coming. Awesome videos like this coming in the future. Just so much to check out. You guys join the family. But I will see you in the next one. Much love, YouTube. Peace.
See ya.